Hello, welcome guys. Welcome. We've got a pretty busy, pretty full astrological week. Mercury retrograde, there's an eclipse, and obviously a new moon. So I'm going to come in and do some live pulls a few days this week. Today I'm going to do the Mercury retrograde reading. I'm going to read for all the signs. Since this retrograde starts in Taurus, I'm going to start with Taurus. And for this reading, sun, moon, and rising, but because they are Mercury retrograde readings, I will definitely say that is not how you spell Taurus, I'm tripping. I would definitely say listen to your sun and your Mercury placement sections or signs, and then your moon and your rising may or may not resonate. These are general, speaking to the Mercury retrograde that we are about to come into, so just keep that in mind. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay, y'all know how I am about my little drawings. Like, they ain't the best, but it has to look decent. So, okay, let me just put this little dry erase marker to the side and get into it. I'm reading with the Sacred Symbols Oracle today and also the Melanated Classic Tarot deck. Excuse my nails. I've been doing a lot of work, and so they're starting to chip, which means I'm going to be doing my nails either tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on how I'm feeling. All right, let's get into it. If you're just tuning in, I am starting with Taurus Sun, and Mercury. This could also be for Taurus, Moon, and Rising. Just going to pull a couple of cards, give you guys some insight as far as what to expect for this Mercury retrograde period. Thank you for the roses, love. And Taurus Sun, Taurus Mercury, secondarily Moon and Rising. Upcoming Mercury retrograde have in store for people with those Taurus placements. Hey, Cindy Alexander. Are we cousins? That's my last name. Fun fact for anybody that doesn't know, the A in aujhaaye is literally a play on my last name and the way that I greet people. Hey, Cuban Capri. Hey, Worldly Empress. Thank you for the likes. Hey, Bunny Bops. I like that name. All right, we are starting with Taurus, Sun, and Mercury. This can also be for Taurus, Moon, and Rising. Just getting a couple of cards for what this Mercury retrograde has in store for you guys, okay? Ooh, I'm over here talking to you guys about my nose. I got marker all over my hand. Like, I've been working. I've been working today. Okay, Taurus, Sun, Mercury, Moon, and Rising. We've got Courage, and you've also got the Hermit. So, couple of... I feel like I have to sneeze. My allergies have been bothering me today. Couple of messages that I get with these two cards. First and foremost is that this Mercury retrograde is in your sign. It's in your element. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. I knew that was coming. And this Mercury retrograde is in your element. So, hi, good afternoon. How are you doing? I'm doing well. So this is actually like, and it's 4:44 where I'm at. I just looked up and my microwave says 4:44. So speaking to a message of alignment, this Mercury retrograde for you is all about alignment, okay? There is this misconception that Mercury is just the worst. Mercury retrograde is just the worst time ever. However, as an astrologer and in my own practice, I speak to retrograde periods as times to reflect and correct, where you can stop, slow down, take a look at things, analyze things, and then make corrections or fix things or make changes where they need to be made. You have the Hermit card coming up with Courage. So depending on how Mercury is hitting your chart, what house it passes over in your personal chart, where it's at in your personal chart, how it's making aspects to the current transits, and you can look this up online for free. You can also, I don't do transit charts, but if you want some information on your own chart, I do personalized reports. But you can take a look and see where exactly this energy is going to be hitting in your life. But wherever it is, there is a message here for you guys to take a moment, which shouldn't be hard for Taurus. You guys are earth energy. It's you don't have to move very fast. I mean, you're okay with moving slow if need be. Take a moment to remove yourself from whatever it is that you're trying to see come into play, and not necessarily like remove yourself, walk away from it. I mean, take a step back and look at it from an outside perspective and start to analyze things, start to break things down. And when you do that, you're going to start to get these messages. You're going to start to see, you're going to have epiphanies, have these realizations. Things are going to start to fall into place for you. They're going to become clear, and you're going to see what moves need to be made to move you into a successful space as far as whatever it is that we're talking about is concerned. You have the Courage card here because for some of you, I feel like this could bring about a very major change in your life. I feel like for some people, this is either career, and for some of you, it has to do with relocation, like moving to a different state or country for some reason that is coming up for you guys. And Mercury is it does govern, well, technically short-term travel, but Mercury does govern, travel and moving to different spaces. So don't just make moves, like reflect and correct to think about it. But I am getting that could have something to do with, for some of you, it could be relocation for work, just to be completely honest. And you may need to take a step back from putting all your energy into your career at the moment, and just to, kind of analyze everything that's going on. Okay, will I find a place here? How much is rent going to be there? Am I looking for a house here? What is my pay going to be here? Is it going to line up with cost of living? All the things. That energy is coming out very specifically. So that might resonate with somebody. But so on a more general level, there is just something major getting ready to shift in your life, Taurus Sun or Taurus Mercury Moon rising. But you can't just make swift moves with it. You actually do need to take this time to take a step away. And with the Hermit card, there's also a message here to say you don't have to take everybody's advice. For whatever reason, whatever you have going on, I feel like a lot of people are going to have something to say about it. Everybody's going to have a suggestion on how you could do this and that and what can make your life better or whatever the case may be. But the message here for you is that this is it's time for you to figure out what you need, what you want, and how you want to live your best life. And in order for you to do that, you cannot necessarily take everybody's advice and put it into play. So take a moment to sit with yourself, sit with your heart, mind, and spirit, and figure out the changes that need to be made. And then bet on yourself and take that leap of faith. Okay? I get that probably more so closer to when Mercury goes direct, or after Mercury stations direct is when you'll start to see changes here. Okay, that is it for Taurus. If you were a Taurus and you enjoyed that particular spread, give me some likes, some roses, or no, what do I have today? Some sparkly bread. I don't know what that is. It looked cool. That's what is my goal for the day. I usually do roses, but okay. That was Taurus. Gemini is next. Do not like that in. Excuse me. Oh, allergies are ridiculous, you guys. I am so sorry to be sniffling all in your ear like that. I have not done Virgo yet. I'm going in order. I've done Taurus. We are just now getting to Gemini. Okay, let's shuffle the deck here. And just so you guys know what these readings are for, we're getting ready to start a Mercury Retrograde. So I'm just pulling a couple of cards, giving some insight into what you guys can expect. Excuse me. I'm going to need to blow my nose in a second. It never fails, you guys. Like, my allergies have been bothering me all day, but I have not been sniffling and sneezing. Of course, as soon as I sit down to start doing my readings, my nose and my sinuses are like, by the way, springtime, pollen, hey. Thank you, Cuban Capri. All right, Gemini Sun and Mercury placements. This can also apply to moon and rising Gemini placements as well. So what does this Mercury retrograde have in store for people with those placements? Everybody just tuning in, we've got Mercury retrograde starting this week. Also a new moon, in the second new moon in Aries, and an eclipse. So yeah, lots going on this week. All right, Gemini sun, moon. Sorry, just kidding. Gemini sun and Mercury. Also moon and rising. What does this Mercury retrograde period have in store for people with those Gemini placements? Got full moon and you've got temperance. So Gemini sun, Gemini Mercuries, and moons and rising. The main message here that I get for you guys is healing. Over this Mercury retrograde period, like I said, the way that I speak to retrogrades are reflecting correct. They're not necessarily always chaos for me. Mercury is a personal planet, so it affects us on a more personal and tangible and conscious level. For you guys, the way that Mercury is hitting you this month, but it's a few weeks, I believe. The way that Mercury is hitting you guys is you're going to be reflecting correct. You're going to be coming into this space to where you're starting to realize all the things that are weighing heavy on your heart and on your spirit and also on your mind. And I also want to speak to the numerology on this card as well. You've got 29, which breaks down to 11, which is a master number. I love me some master number energy. And that might be because I have a personal bias being a life path 11 myself, but that's neither here nor there. But when we're speaking to this 11 numerical energy, we're speaking to enlightenment. It is also associated with healing, okay? So what I get for you guys, people with these Gemini placements, is that over the course of the next few weeks, certain things are going to be coming to the surface. And I'm going to keep it very real with y'all. I don't sugarcoat my readings. I try to keep y'all as far away from the trick bags as possible. With this energy coming up, because it's the moon and we're talking about the moon is associated with feelings in the heart space, and we're also speaking to the full moon, and y'all know how that goes. Full moon is all emotions. So I do get that you might be feeling a little down in your heart chakra areas, okay? But that is kind of how healing goes. When something needs to be healed, it comes up as somewhat of a pain sometimes. So over the next few weeks, Mercury is going to be bringing things up for you that may be hard pills to swallow, but the message here for you is that it's time for you to swallow that pill. Listen, you swallow the pill. You got 2 cups here. You got enough water. Pour it, throw it back, okay? And also speaking to the temperance message here too, if you look at the energy, she has the cup with the water in it, and she's pouring into another cup that she's also holding water that she has provided. You need to do the healing for yourself. You need to take this message and understand that whatever needs to be fixed, and I don't like to use that word, but whatever needs to be corrected, fixed, healed, or whatever the case may be in your life, it is not anybody's responsibility but your own. And sometimes it sucks when it comes to healing, especially in the heart space, because it's like, well, I didn't hurt my own heart, so why do I have to heal my own heart? Unfortunately, that's just the way that it goes, and you're going to remain in a sucky situation or situational headspace if you're like, it's not up to me to heal. I didn't do this to myself. Gemini, unfortunately, if you want to see the light, if you want to be the temperance card, you have to let go of all that. You're going to have to put yourself in different shoes. Okay, it's time for you to open a new door, open a new chapter, and charge whatever it was that got you to feeling down or to the point to where you need to heal. Charge that to the game. Whatever, whoever, whatever, however you were hurt, it's not going to come through and fix it for you. So like I said, charge it to the game, keep it pushing, take what you can from the situation as far as lessons are concerned, and then start to heal, start to release, start to let all of that stuff go, because that keeping things in your aura, in your energy, keeps you from being able to create space for the things that you need to bring in and the things that you are supposed to be coming into alignment with. Okay, so just keeping it very real, this is going to be a very Mercury retrograde for people with Gemini sun and Mercury placements, also Gemini moon and rising. Okay, If you need a personal Mercury retrograde reading, because I do offer personal ones with a lot more detail, you can book one with me. Just scroll to, we'll go to the link on my page and then scroll to, y'all, and I'm sorry, it either says book a personal reading or it says personal tarot spreads. I'm not sure, but it's either number 1 or number 2 on those links. And then, you know, click the drop down menu and you can scroll down to retrograde. And I think you have to put like what planet, but if that's not required, if you book the reading now, I am going to know that you were trying to get a Mercury retrograde. All right. So yeah, Gemini, that's what it is for you. Sorry, not sorry. Got to keep it real. Okay. And honestly, you guys, what I am probably going to do is I'm probably going to do Cancer and Leo, and then I'm going to go take me some honey and some black seed oil and get my allergies underway, and then I'll excuse me, sorry, and then I'll come back and do the others. So I'm going to break these lives up. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze again. Cancer. Just kidding, we're not doing the week ahead. So that goes in the middle. Oh yeah, that, man. I should have maybe did these readings before I went outside. I ran to the corner store, and now that I think about it, I'm like, shoot, you should have did this before that, because I knew as soon as I went outside, excuse me, my allergies were going to start bothering me, because that's typically how it is after it's been cold out here for a couple days. If it gets really warm for me, I will, my allergies go crazy. Okay. We are going to do Cancer Sun and Cancer Mercury, also Moon and Rising, but this is more so for Sun and Mercury placements for this Mercury retrograde that we have coming up. And I am so sorry for sniffling in y'all's ears. I apologize. I know there's only a few of you left in here, but if I haven't done your sign, or if I'm not getting ready to do your sign, follow me so you can be notified when I go live, and you can pop back in for your sign. And if you've missed your sign, you can find it on YouTube for a couple of days. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'll leave them up on YouTube. I'm not sure, but typically all this content is available through my Patreon subscriptions. All right, Cancer Sun and Cancer Mercury for this upcoming Mercury retrograde. I am reading with the Sacred Symbols Oracle and also the Melanated Classic Tarot deck. Today is Tuesday. I'm shocked there's not a lot of people in here. It's Tarot Tuesday. Share this live with your tarot friends. Tell them it's for Mercury retrograde. I'm trying to put y'all on game. All right. Cancer Sun, Mercury, Moon and Rising. You got Past Life, and you got the King of Cups. Okay, I actually kind of like this message for Cancer. Bias. I am a Cancer Sun and a Cancer Moon. What I get here for people with these Cancer placements is, I'm not going to speak to the, oh my gosh, you put a past life card too much, but I want to speak to kind of the nostalgic energy of this card. With the King of Cups, Cancer, that's you. That is you in all your glory, tapped into all of your power. Oh my gosh. I am a nail. I get so mad when stuff like this happens to my nails. And like I've been needing to do them for a couple of days, but like that is so annoying. Cancer, this is us. This is you and all your personal power, all your glory, tapped into all of your skills in your highest, in your highest form, right? You've got the past life card coming up with it. You've also got 14, which breaks down to 5, which is the energy of change, moving into a different chapter, needing to adapt. Because we got water, we're talking about going with the flow. So what I get with this Mercury retrograde, with all of those energies coming in, is that this retrograde for you may not necessarily be so retrograde-ish like how it hits some other people. I do get that it might be a little eye-opening, and I do get that you're going to maybe feel like you're, what's the best way for me to put it? Not necessarily like you're falling behind, but possibly feel like you're circling back to something that you've already done. Let me put you on game with that, Cancer. If you are being prompted to circle around, and try something you've already done, it's because there's an opportunity there for you to either do it differently and make way more money or tap into a lot more abundance, or it's an opportunity for you to tap into whatever you need to put yourself into the spaces that you want to be in, as far as this King of Cups, all my glory energy is concerned. For some of you guys, I am picking up on career. So some of you might go back to either like a company that you used to work and I got marker on my hands too. A company that you used to work for. Some of you might go back to doing something like an old hustle that you put down a while ago. And that might just be because of inflation, if we're being completely honest. Like, everybody needs more money right now. This might have something to do with, no, I think that's it. If we're talking career, I think that means you might be stepping back into an old career space in a new type of energy, if that makes sense. So like, for instance, say if you used to work in a clothing store for like I don't know why you would want to work at Forever 21, but like say you used to work at Forever 21 as an associate. Here come 5 years later, and maybe you're doing something completely different, and now you want to go work for and now you see an opportunity at Forever 21 for like a graphic designer, and oh hey, look, you're in graphic designing now. Oh my gosh, you're working for Forever 21 again, but not as a cashier, as a graphic designer. That's the kind of energy that I get, like if you're returning to a space that you used to be in. There's also a message here that says if you're starting to do something that you used to do, especially if you're self-employed, there's a message for you to look at how you're doing it and possibly change that, because it could be more fruitful once you make some changes, okay? And one other message, and this is what I want to just very, very quickly speak on with Cancer. For some of you, this could actually be in love. There may be another water sign that you are involved with or were involved with at some point in time. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, that pops back up, trying to come back into your life on some, I did just get, life... very specific. Oh, I've changed so much. I've grown so much over the years. Life is different now. I would love to be your friend. That's fraudulent. They're not being honest. They're trying to slide back in the pants, and they're doing it under the guise of a friendship. I tell people during Mercury retrograde, anybody that you used to deal with that pops back up, you just need to, it's like, don't take it seriously. Wait till Mercury stations direct and we're out the shadow, and then if they're still lingering around, then maybe go see about it. But right now, if one of your old things pops back up, you just need to remind yourself that they need to remain an old thing, an old flame. They don't need to be present in your life, okay? And that's all I got for Cancer. Thank you, Amanda's Creations 33, for the roses. I appreciate it. Listen up here, Cancer. I wasn't going to do this, but I see the 3 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So especially if an old flame pops back up, Cancer, do not fall for the okie doke. Do not fall for the okie doke, because you going to get left in the trick bag if you do that. And it's going to be 3 of Swords energy. And listen, as a water sign, y'all know this. We're very good at getting people to fall in love with us. So if you're dealing with another water sign, especially an old water sign, they ain't trying to do nothing but make you fall back in love with them because they missed what they got when they were with you. But you have to remember why you are not with them anymore, okay? That ain't for me, because there ain't no ex that I'm old, no ex, anything that I'm interested in. So to anybody, I also do love readings. You can find that the same way you find the retrograde readings. Okay. All right, I'm going to do Leo, Sun, Mercury, Moon, and Rising, and then I'm going to take a break for a few minutes. I also need a snack. I need to clear my nostrils. Oh, allergies are so stupid. Okay. Leo, Sun, and Mercury, also Moon and Rising. What does this Mercury retrograde period have in store for people with these placements? Leo, Sun, and Mercury, Moon and Rising. Mercury retrograde, what's poppin'? Growth in the High Priestess. Okay. Whew, okay, sorry y'all, that I had to, my brain went through a little moment there because I was like, this reading is important to me. Why is this reading important to me? Because my Mercury's in Leo. And then I have, okay, so we're gonna get into it for a second. High Priestess is always a confirmation card for me. This is like one of my cards in the deck, specifically because of my birthday. And my symbol, like one of my symbols, like my personal little symbol sigils, is a labyrinth. If you are familiar with SunshinehazeCo, the middle of my logo is a labyrinth. And so although this is a spiral, this is supposed to be, the way that I read it, I associate it with labyrinth energy. So there's also a story behind when I got this deck. I got it with another deck, and the only reason I bought the other deck was because there was a labyrinth card in it, but that's another story for another day. With this being said, people with with Leo Sun and Leo Mercury placements, this Mercury retrograde is a little lit for you. I do get a message where you feel it's going to maybe feel like you're going around and around in circles. Hang tight, keep your grip, and stay on the ride, because that little circle is going to take you to somewhere where you're supposed to be. I also get that this is going to be a time for you over the next couple of weeks to where you're really, and I don't want to, and I feel like you may not have to do a lot of work to come to these realizations or epiphanies, but I feel like you're going to get a lot of spirit messages, a lot of, angel numbers, a lot of I guess I should do a video on numerical energies and angel numbers, because from what I've been seeing on the internet, there's a lot of confusion. But like, you might be getting some number messages, some animal messages, some messages in your dreams. You might also, by way of conversations that you have with other people, things might pop up that might not seem very important to everybody else, but to you, you're like, ding, 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 ding. That was for me, concerning whatever it is that I have going on. This Mercury retrograde for you, Leo people, is actually going to be a pretty decent period. I will say, because it is Mercury retrograde, and I don't want you guys to be sitting here thinking that it's going to be smooth sailing, that, like I said, I do get that round and round kind of energy. I also get that something might come up for you that you have dealt with before, that you're a little tired of dealing with. But what is going to become clear for you during this during these next few weeks is how to stop yourself from having to go through that same cycle, or some sort of opportunity will be presented to you that will help you quit that particular cycle. Either way, it rocks. Okay. I don't have much else to say for Leo. That's really it. Like, there's some stuff cooking for you over the next few weeks, and it might seem a little chaotic at a certain point, but just understand that everything is happening for a reason, and to just kind of go with the flow, go in the direction of the swirl. Okay, go with the flow and see where it takes you, because it's taking you to where you need to be. All right. Okay, I am going to shut this down for a few minutes. I'm not going to pause the live. I'm just going to shut the live down, and I'll come back and do another one in a few minutes. And we'll come back and we'll start with Virgo. So give me like 15. Like I said, if you're not following me, follow me so you can be notified when I pop back in here, okay? And I apologize. We're going to blame this on my allergies.